So Gia had pages of fact but kept getting the same comment on her individual report from the teacher. More analysis needed. And in 30 minutes, we transformed one paragraph using my peeler method, and her teacher's next note read clear, persuasive analysis. And today I'll show you the exact steps we use so that you can turn evidence into convincing arguments every time. Hey guys, I'm Karishma and I help IGCSE Global Perspectives students write analysis that examiners love. Let's make your paragraphs work harder for your marks. So, what sinks grades isn't lack of research, it's lack of connection in your individual reports. So many students dump quotes, starts, and examples, but they don't explain how they prove the point or consider different perspectives. In global perspective, analysis and evaluation are key criteria. Today, you'll learn a simple, repeatable structure to link evidence to your argument with clarity, the peeler method. So start each paragraph with one sentence claim that answers part of your research question. I'll keep it specific and arguable. Let's look at an example. So let's say the question is, if your research question is, how does social media affect teen well-being in my city? The sentence would be, social media intensifies weekday stress for teens by compressing sleep and homework time. Step number 2 is evidence. Show concrete support. So what you have to do is you have to use precise data, numbers, dates, name, quotes, observations, surveys, and results. And you have to cite source briefly and very clearly. Let's look at an example. In my survey of 82 students, age group of 14 to 16, 63% reported sleeping under 7 hours on weekdays due to late night scrolling. Now, the pro tip over here is prefer 63% of 82 respondents over many teens. So quantify. Step 3 is explain and connect the dots. So you have to answer how exactly this evidence support your claim. Use casual effect language like this suggests or therefore, which means. Let's look at an example. So because reduced sleep impairs focus and planning, this pattern likely raises stress the next day, especially when homework deadlines remains fixed. And step number 4 is lens. Bring in perspective. So explain how different stakeholders see this issue and why. Link the local findings to a wider global pattern or case. For example, student frame late nights use as a fear of missing out. Parents say lack of discipline. School emphasizes time management. Globally, the WHO, that is World Health Organization, reports raising adolescent sleep deprivation across multiple countries, suggesting our local pattern isn't isolated. And step number 5 is evaluate. Assess the evidence. So judge the strengths and limits of your evidence. Consider sample size, source reliability, methods, and bias. For example, my survey may overrepresent heavy users because of respondents volunteered via Instagram or survey or school. However, the result aligns with a school well-being report of 2023 and a UK longitudinal study on adolescent sleep, strengthening its credibility. So did you see how well it is evaluated? So the next step is reflect and link. Anticipate counterpoints that you might get or the examiner might think and link back. Briefly acknowledge a counter argument and respond. End with a therefore sentence that links back to your research question and sets up the next point. How to do that is, some argue late night study, not social media, reduces sleep. Yet 41% of my respondents selected notifications and DMs as the main cause, outweighing homework, which is 24%. Therefore, social platforms' attention design appear to be a primary driver of weekday stress in my sample, leading to policy options around do not disturb hours. So now let's look at my students' before and after paragraph on my screen. So before it was, social media affects teen. A BBC article said, many teens feel stress. My friend said she stays up late and I think it's bad. And after, analytical with my peeler strategy, how it looks like. Social media increases weekday stress by reducing teen sleep in my city. In my survey of the sample size of around 82, 63% students reported less than 7 hours of sleep due to late night scrolling. School well-being data shows a 90% increase in sleep complaints. Less sleep undermines focus and emotion regulation, making school days feel more stressful. Lens, students cite FOMO, parents blame self-control, WHO notes a global rise in adolescent sleep loss. Evaluate, my sample is volunteer based via Instagram, possible bias, but findings aligned with independent school data. Rebut or link, although some attribute stress to homework, notifications were the top cause in my survey. Therefore, attention design likely contributes to stress, which I'll revisit when proposing school quiet hours policy. The result here is her teacher's feedback switched from describe less, analyze more to clear links and evaluation. Well done. So now let me share with you how you can start your sentences for this pillar strategies. P, which is this point. A key factor is because, evidence, according to, in my interview with the stakeholder. Explain. E, this demonstrate. Lens. L, from a student, parent, business, government perspective. E, evaluate. This evidence is limited by, however, it's strengthened by. Rebut or link are, while some argue, data indicates, therefore, in relation to my research questions. So what are some big no's in this is? 1, evidence dumping. That is, starts without explaining so what. Vague language, many, a lot. Be specific, give numbers. Or one-sided writing, no perspective or counterpoints. Next, no evaluation, treating all sources as equal. Next, mixing multiple claims in one paragraph. 1 point per paragraph. So now, take one of your paragraphs, apply Peeler right now, post your before and after in the comments. I'll give feedback on the clarity of your links and evaluation. And subscribe for more IGCSE Global Perspectives writing strategies. So see you in the next video.